Is this Australia's plushest, poshest people mover? It could well be. It's the Zeekr 009, a fully electric all-wheel drive 7 or 6-seat people mover with huge power, insane acceleration, and some amazing specs. Some beautiful interior finishes. It is an opulent and luxurious thing, and I'll tell you all about it in this review and the best alternatives to it too. So stick around, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and ring the bell, and let's get to it. There's two different choices you can make if you're looking at the Zeekr 009, and there's basically one seat differentiating them. So there's the 7-seat version, which you probably think is more practical for less money, at $135,900. I know that's a lot of cash, but you're getting a lot of stuff in this car. And then there's the 6-seat version, which offers a more opulent third row experience. So it's a 2+2+2 layout, and it costs you $4,000 extra. I wouldn't be spending the extra $4,000 personally, but I'll tell you why it is important for some when we get into the interior section. But let's talk about what you're getting as standard in the Zeekr 009. This list is long, people. Let me tell you, you've got matrix LED headlights, LED tail lights at the back. There's keyless entry. You've got electric sliding side doors. You've got a huge panoramic glass roof in there, and you've got plenty of luxurious features on the inside, including Napa leather and ultra suede upholstery, 12-way power adjustable front seats, heated and ventilated and massaging front seats. Then you've got Safaro first class aviation type second row seats with heating, ventilation, memory and massage functions. There's even a footrest in the back there. There's foldable side tables, a 15-inch screen in the back for rear seat riders to be occupied. There's also a big head-up display for the driver, big digital instrument cluster, and a huge touchscreen too. There's a 30-speaker sound system in this vehicle, an 8.6 litre fridge in the back too, with -6 to 50 degree plus temperature, so you can cool or heat your food on the road trip. And then if you choose the 6-seat model, we're getting third row seats with those similar flexibility options and plenty of great functionality to those third row seats as well. Personally, I still think that the 7-seat version with the bench in the back could be a better choice for most people's needs. But let's talk about some alternatives to this, because you might be surprised at some of the options out there. So, you're thinking about a people mover. Well, you're a smart person. I think these are underrated, and there are some really bloody great ones out there. The first and best alternative that I always mention in any people mover review is the Kia Carnival. It is excellent for the money, and if you buy the GT line version, you're getting lots and lots of great features for the cash, and a choice of a few different powertrain options. No fully electric one, but that could rule it out for some, but it does have the choice of petrol, of diesel, and of a hybrid version as well. So it could be a great choice for you if you're not sure if EV is the right choice, and you'll save heaps and heaps of money, like 50 grand compared to this. So you can maybe even buy 2 Kia Carnivals for one of these. Now, what about if you are thinking, I want opulence, I want luxury, I want to send a message to my customers or my family and neighbors? Well, you could have a look at the Lexus LM. It is a lovely people mover. It is beautiful inside and out, in my opinion. Some people don't like the look of it, but I do. And it does have a couple of different powertrains on offer, including an efficient petrol-electric hybrid one and a more powerful one as well. So if you can spend $160,000 to $220,000, it might be a good choice for you, but that is a lot of cash. Otherwise, it's definitely worth hitting the bell so you can keep up to date with all of my reviews, because I will be driving the Xpeng X9 at some point in the future. And let me tell you, I cannot wait to drive that family-friendly vehicle. It looks plush, posh, and lovable. And I'd love to know what you think. Which one would you pick? Have your say in the comments. What do you think about the look of this car? I think it is absolutely stunning. Not beautiful, but stunning, because it does have some challenging design elements in my opinion, but wow, I am falling for it. The more I look at it, the more I think this is something special. And it's a big unit too. You'll see the dimensions on your screen now. More than 5.2 meters long, a massive long wheelbase. And yes, it's got adaptive air suspension that can lower itself when you're getting in and out of the car. That's why it sits so low over those amazing looking wheels. Do you like those rims? Have your say in the comments. Now, it is a sizable thing. You will need to be mindful of that when it comes to parking, but thankfully you won't have any issues with car parks in terms of the height, and it does have, well, a fair bit of weight to contend with as well. So I'll put some weights on your screen now. Firstly, the curb weight for this vehicle, 2,870 kilos. It is hefty, and it's also got a pretty big gross vehicle mass, 3430 kg, which means you've got a usable payload of just on 560 kilos. So not necessarily the best when it comes to payload capability and capacity, but still, it's going to be able to put up with a decent load of people and their stuff, in theory. Well, let's have a look at the boot and see what we are working with. There's a button right there. It does have an electric tailgate, and as you'll see right here, we do have the third row seats in play, and I'll put the cargo capacity number with those seats in play on your screen now. Now, you might think, well, that's a bit underdone. It does still have pull straps, so you can lower those seats down rather than electric folding third row seats like some cars have. I actually prefer these, and there's a problem here because this seat is too far back. Let me just move it forward, just like that. That is so handy to be able to quickly do that. If you're a shorty, you might not be able to reach, but I could. Now, let's have a look at it like that. Obviously, not as clever in terms of the third row practicality as a Kia Carnival. You can't flip and fold those seats into underneath the floor because there's battery stuff underneath the floor of the vehicle. But let me show you under here. There's something else that you can see. You do get a warning triangle under there. No spare wheel, maybe a disappointment for some. If you are looking for a vehicle that has a spare, well, you're gonna have to do something other than an electric vehicle in this segment at least. And you do have some little handy things on the side here, some hooks for your shopping bags. You've also got power outlets down there, and the height of the tailgate is configurable. So, is that all there is when it comes to the storage? No, let me show you. There is a frunk too. So let's just open it up. Yes, so here is that frunk, and there is your tyre repair kit. You'll see the capacity of this storage section on your screen now. That might be handy if you do want to put your cables in that storage area. I would recommend that because then you don't have to dig through the back when you are trying to charge up. But yes, what do you think? Is that good enough? And is it practical enough for a vehicle like this? Okay, let's have a look at the interior of the 009, and it is pretty opulent, people. I am really liking the design in here. I even like this two-tone finish. There are a few different interior trim options for this vehicle, but this sort of ivory finish with the blue and the blue that runs up onto the headlining there, it is so lovely and it looks really great. I'm not so sold on blue carpet and the blue hard plastics down there, but yeah, it is still a very interesting cabin and super duper comfy. Now these seats, they have Napa leather trim. They are super ridiculously comfy, cushy and well padded and super adjustable as well, and even adjustable from this side if you're adjusting that front passenger seat. And that is one of the things about this vehicle. It does have all the stuff you would expect. You've got heating, cooling, massaging for the front seats and memory settings for the driver too. And yes, obviously, there's a bit of adjustability to the steering wheel, but some of the controls you still have to do through the screen. So for example, if you want to adjust your mirrors, you have to do that using this button on the screen and then using the steering wheel controls. And yes, it does take a little bit of adjustment. You can do the same sort of thing with the head-up display. Yes, it does have a huge head-up display with augmented reality up there too. So little illustrations will come up in front of your eyes using sat-nav, and you can also adjust the steering wheel. Sorry about the refresh rate on the screen there, it's a little flickery. But yes, you do the adjustments to the steering wheel using that screen as well. So this screen itself, as I've called out in lots of other reviews, you will need to spend some time getting to know how this all works. Yes, it is a bit flickery, I'm sorry about that. So yeah, there's plenty of adjustments and plenty of controls that you can go through on this screen. It's a very quick processor as well. Snapdragon Qualcomm business, if that means anything to you. And look, you can do lots of things from the screen. You can open your charge port if someone else is plugging in for you. You can open the doors from there, and look down here, you've got plenty of little modes to play with too, including camping mode. So yes, that will allow you to use power if you need to. It does have vehicle to load capability. You've also got pet mode, so you can leave a doggo in the car if you need to. And there's car wash mode as well, so it won't freak out when you go into a car wash. If you want to adjust the suspension, yes, you can adjust the height of it through the screen here. In standard, it will raise itself up, and it's auto adjusting as well. So if you go onto the freeway, it will lower itself down to be more aerodynamic. If you're in bumpier road situations at lower speeds, it'll be up higher. You can set it to very high if you want to, if you know that you're going to go camping or something like that. It does have all-wheel drive, remember, so it does have a level of capability when it comes to that. And look, this screen, honestly, I could spend weeks going through it. It is deep in terms of the capability on the screen here. You can see you've got different modes for your cameras if you want to see what's happening at the wheels. 3D mode, so you can adjust around the vehicle. Normal mode, so you can just see what's happening at the front or at the rear. It is very, very amenable. And there's also an auto parking system as well, if you are nervous about parking something this big. Like I said, it could take me weeks to go through everything on this screen, but you do have some things in here that you might want to get to terms with. So you've got lane keeping assist controls, the Zeekr AD, which is presumably auto driving. That technology, you can turn some of that off if you don't like it. And there is also a drop-down menu at the top, so you can easily jump to some of the menus and you can edit those favorites as well. So if there's something in particular that gives you the shits or you want to get access to quickly, you can do that by choosing any of those things on the screen. Which is nice to see, in my opinion. There's also a notification center, so if anything comes through, if there's a software update or something, then you can go into there. And this little happy looking chappy right here is the Zeekr AI bot, and it will help you do some things by voice control. The whole idea with this screen, apparently, is that you don't touch it. You talk to the car and it has AI built in, so it will basically learn the way you speak to it and hopefully react accordingly in terms of your voice commands. And look, I know Aussies aren't necessarily that hot on using voice control. I know personally I don't use it that often, but you've got it if you need it or if you prefer it. Now let's have a look at some of the other elements of this screen right here. So you got your driving controls, you can adjust the regen braking, you can adjust brake assist, and you can set it to full-time four-wheel drive. If you know you're going to go somewhere where the road is unsealed, then yes, you can set that up so that it will use all-wheel drive all the time. As a default, it just uses rear-wheel drive but can snap the front axle into action if it needs to. You've got Sentry mode, so you can keep an eye on the car if you're not in it or near it. There's also an energy management screen, so you can keep an eye on what's been happening. This car was on the track earlier on today, so that's probably why it looks so, well, assertively driven. And you've also got adjustments for your sound. You can set different levels in here. It's really, really deep in terms of the tech. And that's one of the things about it, I guess, that you will have to get used to. You've also got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. Plus, you can go into some settings in here like a camera. If you want to take a photo or a video or something around the car, you can do that using the car's cameras, which is, I mean, creepy but cool. And there's a smart fridge control system. So if you want to, when the car's running, you can adjust the temperature of the fridge in the back, which I'll show you shortly, to be cooling or heating. So it is a really, really clever system. You can open the door of it from there. So if you don't want your kiddos getting into the snacks, then yes, there you go. You've got control up front, which is really bloody handy, I reckon, for parents in particular. It's also a nice trick if you're showing up to pick someone up from an airport or from the hotel or whatever it may be. Nice touch, and hey, could get you 5 stars on Uber every single time if it's full of nice cold drinks. Here you'll find that you do have climate control settings on screen, and you can adjust the driving cabin, so the front cabin, but also the rear seat cabin as well if you do need to go in there and make changes to the temperature, where it's going, what the fan speed is, all that stuff, all available on screen. And yes, dual zone climate, of course, plenty of great controls on the screen, but again, everything through the screen or talk to the guy. Now, let's have a look at some of the other things in this cabin. So you got a wireless phone charger. It also comes with an NFC card, so you can tap in and tap out of the car if you want to. You've got cup holders there. That's the key, in case you're wondering. I don't like these keys personally. And in here, you've got a covered center console area with charging available. There is a set of large pockets in the doors. You do have a glove box with a button to open it, and a vest in this particular car. And over here, you've got your driver info screen. It's got plenty of configurability to it if you do want to change the view. I'll keep it brief though. And this little flashing light right here is the driver monitoring camera system that'll keep an eye on your eyes and make sure that you're not too tired. Now, unlike lots of other EVs, it doesn't have a column mounted shifter. So you do have right there your wipers, and on this side, you've got your lights and blinkers, and your shifter is in the conventional position. It's not necessarily a conventional thing. It does have a park button, but honestly, it's probably easier to get used to, even though I'm used to them being up there now. And steering wheel controls, all pretty simple too. There's lots of ambient lighting on offer in this vehicle, and a 30 speaker Yamaha sound system. In 30 speakers, that's heaps. And you've even got them in the headrests of the front and second row seats as standard. So that's pretty neat. Up here, you've got an auto dimming rear view mirror. You've also got controls for your doors, which is really, really handy to have at a touch. And you'll also find your light controls and your sunshade control. If you want to open that sunshade, you can easily do that from there. And there's another glass roof in the back there too for rear occupants. And here you'll find you've got these nice big visors. They don't slide, unfortunately, so that could be a problem for afternoon drivers. But they do have illumination and mirrors, and you've got grab handles for all positions, which is good to see. All right, let's jump into the second row and see what the space is like. So before I jump in, I want to show you these sliding doors in action. They are, well, very, very helpful in order of getting in and out of this vehicle easily enough. I'm going to get into the third row in a sec, but just have a look at it. It's bloody lovely, people. These first class style seats that are inspired by aeroplanes, well, they feel like one too. I'm going to jump in here and get comfy and show you how much space I've got to play with. Allow me to just close that door to make things a little more hushed for us. And yes, you can see right here, I have heaps and heaps of room behind my driving position. And if you're wondering what these little things are, that's actually all lighting. And there's more lighting in the ceiling of this car, and there's a massive glass roof too. This here is a screen that opens up, and it is massive, and you can set different tilt levels for it. It does have a remote control, so you can adjust it as well. And it is a really, really nice bit of kit, especially if you do have family members and you're doing long trips. That will be a nice distraction for them. Now, let's go back to what I was talking about, the space on offer. Plenty of leg room, lots and lots of headroom for someone my height too. It is a comfy backseat experience, heaps and heaps and heaps of room. And the shoulder room in this very lovely seat is excellent. Now, for this seat, you do have some good functionality. You can just where the seat is set using these controls down here, and look, it's sliding back. And then if you push this and then push it back, look at all those controls I've got. So I can more quickly adjust different elements of the seat, massaging there, and recline functionality, and put it back up into place functionality, just like on a plane, in one of the better classes on the plane at least, and heating and ventilation controls there too. So plenty of great features in terms of the luxury element for the second row seats. And then you've got some other little nifty bits in the back here. So this is a clock. It can also be your seat controller, and you can also set up different menus on that screen there to adjust the air control, the temperature, and so forth. That is just really, really lovely stuff. Now there's also openable windows. That's right. So lots of people movers don't actually have windows that you can open, but this one does, and that's great. And you can even open the other side from this side if you want to. And you've also got sunshades in the back as well. So if you are worried about the sun's glare on a sunny drive somewhere, then you can have them, oh, I can't undo it, there we go. You can have them in play or out of play, depending on what you prefer. Now you've got overhead vents up there, you've got lights up there too, speakers by the 1,000, and a little push down hook there too for your coat, which is handy. There's just so much to talk about in the back of this car. The storage is excellent too. So you've got these pull out map pockets, I guess you'd call them. You've got friggin' fast USB-C charging, 60 or 100 watt down there. And remember, that's where your fridge is as well. So in there, that is where you can store things if you need to. And also you've got big pockets in the doors for bottles. Actually, I'll show you on this side so it's a bit easier. That's all the storage in the door though. So maybe not as practical as it could be compared to some others. But you've also got cup holders up here, and you've also got a little section down here for more storage, which is excellent, with USB charging in there too. And there's even little tables that you can pop out as well. So if I do that now, let me just see if I can do it. Yep, this car is brand spanking, but look, I've got a spot where I could get my laptop out, do some work, or even just have a snack on the road trip. So that is just all really, really bloody clever stuff. So let's jump into the third row and see what the space is like back there. And look, it is as easy as pushing this button right here. So this seat will slide forwards, and you just have to have a bit of patience. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but look at it. It's going a long way forward to make third row access easy for a big, clumsy, cumbersome bloke like me. So third row access, yeah, bloody nails it. Let me push the seat back to where it was before, and it's coming back. It's coming back. And yes, I should also mention it has ISO fixed points and top tethers for those seats as well. And that is basically where I was sitting before. And look, I've still got knee room in front of me and headroom in abundance. And these seats are also very, very reclinable. So if I can get it to work, there we go. I can adjust the seats to be a little bit more comfortable for me, upright and still with plenty of space. You've got the shades in the back as well. You've got more charge ports over here, as you can see, and you've got these cup holders. You don't have any map pockets on the seat backs here, but you do still have ISO fixed points and top tethers for these very third row seats as well. And look, this is the more opulent version. So this is the 6-seat model. And like, honestly, I don't think this is necessarily the best way to choose your Zeekr. I would choose it with the 3-seat bench at the back just for extra practicality personally. But yeah, it's still super duper practical and surprisingly pretty bloody roomy in the back, even with this setup to be super comfy for second row riders. In Australia, there's just one powertrain on offer in the 009. It's a dual motor electric all-wheel drive vehicle, and that means it's got heaps and heaps of power and torque. 450 kilowatts, 693 Newton meters, that is plenty. It is a heavy vehicle, remember, so the 0 to 100 time is just 4.5 seconds. Wow, what a slouch. No, that is really, really, really fast for a vehicle like this. But let's talk range and charging, because that might actually be more important than power and torque. The 009 has a 116 kilowatt hour NMC lithium ternary battery system, and that is enormous. In fact, it offers up to 686 kilometers of EV driving range. That's based on the lenient NEDC and ADR figures. But if you're more in tune with WLTP, which in my opinion is far more realistic, 582 Ks. Still plenty of EV driving range, right? Now, let's have a look at the charging situation. Your charge port location is on the back passenger side of the vehicle, has a nice opening system to it as well. And yes, you've got AC at a maximum charge rate of 11 kilowatts. That will still take a really long time from 0 to 100% at 3-phase power levels, but still, it's a big battery. Remember that. Now, you've also got DC charging, as you can see there, Type 2 combination plug, DC charging at a maximum rate of 205 kilowatts, which is pretty speedy, and it should mean a 10 to 80% charge time of about 30 minutes. So it should be pretty quick to juice up and keep going, and it is a pretty big battery with pretty big driving range. But let's go drive it now and see what it's like. Okay, so what is this big people mover like to drive? Well, it's unlike a lot of the other people movers I've driven in that it is, well, huge, heavy, but still very, very easy to drive. And it's certainly going to be easy enough for mums and dads out there who maybe aren't used to driving something that weighs 2.8 tons and is 5.2 meters long. Well, it'll still just fit into your lifestyle pretty easily, I would say, because it is simple to drive. That's one of the things about EVs more generally, is it's sort of just stop and go driving. You don't really have to think about gear shifts. You don't have to think about how you manage your throttle. It goes hard when you put your foot down and it stops hard too. But right now I'm doing what you'll probably more likely do in your 7 or 6 seat mover van like this. I'm in traffic, stuck in a jam, waiting for whoever's in front of me to move along, and that's just the reality of a family vehicle like this. The beauty of this one is that it's still very, very likable in these sorts of situations because it's super comfy and, well, you've got lots and lots of amenities to make you feel like you are getting a great experience, even if you're just sitting around waiting for the roadworks. It's lovely. You do have a single pedal driving mode, so that means that basically you shouldn't actually need to touch the brakes in a lot of situations. You can just lift off the accelerator and it will come down to a stop, which is something that lots of EVs have, and it does add to the drivability of it, so long as you're okay with it. If you're not, you can always turn it off and, well, it'll be a different kind of drive experience, maybe a bit more conventional, and you'll still have to use the brakes, but it'll still be something that you'll have to get used to. The regen braking in most EVs means that, well, the brake pedal feel is a little bit different, and so you might find that it takes some getting used to the way that the brake pedal reacts in this vehicle, but honestly, it won't take long. It's pretty predictable, I would say. And predictability is sort of the thing I keep coming back to with this vehicle. It doesn't feel unfathomably large or heavy or cumbersome. The steering is light and pretty accurate feeling, and also the ride comfort is excellent. It's got a very, very sophisticated air suspension system as standard in this model lineup, and what that gets you is supreme comfort. It is very cushy, and maybe not as firm as you might hope in some situations, but it really does have a very cloud-like ride, and they even call it within Zeekr, they call it a magic carpet style ride. I can get why, because it is really, really I guess lofty and wafty. You sort of just feel like the road isn't even there. It's just a very squishy, enjoyable experience. I just think that this is super luxurious for a family customer or a business buyer who's looking at this for their hire car business, or if you're running it as a hotel vehicle. It could be a fantastic choice, but there are some things you need to know about the ownership stuff, which we'll get to later on if you are a business buyer. Righto, so what about efficiency? Well, as I mentioned earlier, this vehicle has huge EV driving range on its side, at least as a claim, and it has pretty impressive efficiency as well. You'll see the combined cycle number on your screen now. That's the average that you should be able to see across a mix of driving situations in terms of kilowatt hours per 100k. So remember, it's got a pretty big battery, so lots of kilowatt hours required. And if you're wondering what I've seen over this, well, shorter test drive in Western Sydney, you'll see it on screen now. And it's not necessarily representative of what I usually do or what you might usually do, but it has seen a bit of stop-start traffic, some urban driving, a little bit of acceleration testing. Yes, it is going to be relatively efficient, hopefully, and it seems pretty good in that regard. There's no ANCAP or Euro NCAP rating for the Zeekr 009 just yet, but let me tell you, it's got plenty of standard spec and tech, and in theory, it would achieve a very high rating. It's got stuff like autonomous emergency braking with pedestrian, cyclist, and junction detection. There's advanced lane keeping assistance. There's also advanced cruise control and a traffic jam system with stop, start, and steer for you. It's got blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert with braking. It's also got a great surround view camera system, parking sensors, spaces around the car. It can park itself if you're nervous about that, which is nice to know. And you've also got all those other modes that I spoke about, including a dog mode, a child mode, and sentry mode to keep an eye around the car with a dash cam style system too. Now, when it comes to the other stuff you need to know, well, yes, it does have a driver monitoring camera. It's not annoying though, as far as I can tell. There's also a speed sign recognition system, which, as far as I could tell on this drive, didn't give me the shits, so it should be pretty good in terms of that safety integration. And there's 7 airbags fitted to this vehicle. Dual front, front side, full length curtain, and they go all the way to the very back to protect everyone on board, and a front center airbag as well to prevent head clashes for those up front in the event of a side impact. Safe? Yeah, very. In Australia, Zeekr offers a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty for private vehicle buyers. But if you are commercially choosing this vehicle, just be mindful that your warranty is only 3 years and 120,000 kilometres. That could rule it out for you, and I could understand if it did. But you need to know this. There's an 8-year, 160,000k warranty for the battery pack, and that applies whether you're a private buyer or a commercial customer. Now, when it comes to roadside assistance, 5 years included as well. And there's also 5 years of connected services and data included with this vehicle. Plus, when it comes to the servicing, your intervals are every 2 years and 30,000 Ks, so nice lengthy intervals between those visits for maintenance. But there is no cap price servicing plan or any pricing details for the maintenance at the time I'm filming this, which is unfortunate. But if I find those out, I'll put them in the description. Do I need this in my life? No. But do I want it in my life? Yeah, I do. This is bloody lovely, people. It's a seriously primo piece of kit. Lovely inside, super easy to drive, and not annoying either. I'm pretty impressed by the Zeekr 009, and I'd love to know what you think. Is it worth the money, or would you just go for a Kia Carnival? Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you when I see you.